The worst thing that can happen to anybody is for your absence to be felt in your presence. For your sibling to look at you and say, I wish I had a brother. And you are there, you are not a sister, you are a brother. The third is diabolic forces. When I look at Israel, I ask myself, when they were in bondage in Egypt, Moses came. How come Pharaoh was still stubborn? There were people around Pharaoh. They were called magicians. They confused him. They deceived him. Moses dropped his rod. It was a serpent. And they laughed. Because in that palace, they used to turn rods to serpent for fun. To them, it was fun. So when Moses dropped his rod, it was a serpent, they laughed. They said, we are used to this one. So they dropped all their rods, it became serpent. Because they used to turn rods to serpent for fun in the palace. They would turn rods to serpent and joke with it. Moses dropped his own rod. Because where Moses' rod come from, they used to swallow other rods for fun. They swallow rod for fun. So when they dropped their serpents, the rod of Moses went backward. The rod of Moses swallowed 7 rods and did not become fatter. They picked it, it was still the same size. It summarized them to 0. It turned them to vanity. And they picked it, the same rod. Moses took it and walked away with it. Occultic men, I'm being honest to you. Anything Moses did, they did. When Elijah said to the prophets of Baal, let's go to Mount Carmel. The God that answers by fire, let him be God. Do you know why they were bold enough? Because they call fire for fun. When they call Baal, Baal, that's what they say. Baal, Baal, fire will come down. But that day when Baal heard that God was to be in Mount Carmel, Baal traveled. So from morning till night, they were saying Baal, 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 Baal. The more they say Baal, Baal, when Baal hear his name, he will run further. Baal, he run away. Baal, he run further. And Elijah began to mock them. He said, call him more. I am sure he's on vacation. Call him again. I'm sure he's sleeping. Guess what? They began to cut themselves. They were cutting themselves. Because they were so sure of what they depended. But that day, while they were trying to call Baal, there was no network. You must understand something. If you think that Satan is going to allow you. You see, Satan can be anything. Call him wicked, call him evil, call him anything. But there's one thing you cannot call him. He's not gentle. And he's not stupid. He's going to raise people. There are people that will hate you without a cause. There are people that will rise up to contend you. The worst thing that can happen to anybody is for your absence to be felt in your presence. Think about that word very well. For your absence to be felt in your presence. For your sibling to look at you and say, I wish I had a brother. And you are there, you are not a sister, you are a brother. You are a grown-up man and your younger ones are saying, I wish I had a brother that God blessed. You are a grown-up lady and your younger sister is saying, I wish I had a sister that is serious with her life. Your absence is being felt in your presence. You must understand that in life, there are powers and there are humans who will not want to see people rise. But you know why we are here tonight? We came to tell them their end has come. We saw that we heard about that. They sent me a video of the bird, the big bird that dropped dead in the field. And that is just a beginning, an introduction. Because anyone that says you will not rise, anyone that says it will not be well with you, that you will not accelerate, they drop dead now. As I'm speaking right now by prophecy, many of you tonight, you will get a call from your hometown. You will get a call from your hometown. You will get a call from your county. You will get a call from your municipality. Those after you, those who have vowed that nothing good can emanate from your life, that nothing good can happen to you, that nothing good can happen in your family, they cease to exist. We lock them out They cease to exist. 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 They cease to exist.